Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions at 12 noon Chicago time, Central Time in the US. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. And we have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. We have a great community here, and I can never thank you enough for how kind you are to each other and how kind you've been to me. So thank you. All right, I take your 12 questions, 12 political questions. I don't do personal readings, I'm afraid, but I take your 12 political questions at 12 noon Chicago time every day. I start taking the questions at 11 a.m. So just put the questions in the chat in all caps. But during the live stream, yes, anything in all caps is how you communicate with me. Before I go on, you don't put anything in all caps. Okay. Before I go on, don't put anything in all caps. During the live stream, anything in all caps is how you communicate with me. And then other than that, please type normally. I just don't, that way I don't get distracted. So people have whole conversations and are really supportive of each other and sometimes come in and ask others for prayers, or they're just greeting old, become old friends at these things. So it's great. It's great. I'm glad you like the overlay. I was really happy when I found this. And then I liked the references to, I realize I like chess references when it comes to tarot, because you got the king of and queen of and knight of. And so I put the text in too, and I changed colors and I added pieces and overlaid, and I put some effort into it. And I'm really pleased how it came out. So, also, hello, Mel. I just want to say this really quickly. If I can brag a little bit, I've been working on creating my own deck, or a deck I can offer, because I want a deck that has the meanings on it, both upright and reversed. But the one deck I've seen that really does that, the text is tiny. I don't always agree with what they're saying the cards mean. So I wanted to start making my own, and eventually, if I can get the whole thing together, I want to offer it for sale properly through a printer, and what have you. But in the meantime, I can make things myself, and I'm getting some heavier paper that can go through my printer. I'm getting some things will make rounded corners, so I can make my own deck, and you will see as I create cards, I will be able to show you. So it's just a printout from my own printer, but I have to say, hang on, let me get my little, I have, to keep things organized in my little business, I have this thing of folders. Well, I've got a calendar, but I have the different parts of the business. So if I just go in here to the Rider-Waite Meanings Tarot deck, right? And as I work on things, I pull this out, and I just put a sheet in this because I just put this folder together. Because when I create a folder, this is not as important, but when I create a folder, I have a sheet here where I write down like when I worked on things and how long I worked on them and what have you. So it gives me an idea of like how long things took. Rough idea. But anyway, I have something to put in my little folder now, because I'm not really sure. I don't think the back's going to be white. I don't think there's going to be a white background. I think there's going to be kind of a yellowish background, like a pale beigeish color, pulling off of this kind of off-white. But this is like the back of the card, This is the back of the card. And again, this is just on slightly thick paper. It's not even on proper printable cardstock yet. So, and the colors aren't as vibrant as I like yet, but they will. So I've got these Tudor roses, and the original backs to the cards for the Rider-Waite cards have this. It's almost like a lily thing, but I was happier with this kind of stylized lily fleur-de-lis-ish thing. Anyway, so that's what I have right now for the back. This is the first draft. Okay. And this, I'm going to change this to a heart because cups are in regular playing cards, cups are the heart, are hearts. So I'm going to change that to a heart. But so it's worked in. So this is what it means upright. And then if you get it reversed, you can see it there. So 1 down, 77 to go. But this is, and I'm going to, of course, curve because on these cards, the corners are curved. But I'm not going to have the heavier paper or the ability to make the little cornery things until tomorrow. So anyway, this is what I'm working on. And as I'm glad you like it. Thank you. As I make progress, I will share. So as I work my way through the 78 cards. So that is that. Oh, now I'm nervous. Thank you guys. I'm actually sweating a little bit now. It's like, oh, don't mess this up. All right. I think it might help people because I know there are a lot of people who are learning, or it can be a lot. I mean, I do this every single day. I've done this every single day for a couple of years now. Actually, more than 2 years now, every single day. And so, I know what the cards mean, but I think it can be hard to wrap your head around this stuff. So I'm just going to put this back where it belongs in with the other. There we go. The other, nope, right there. Let me just put this back in here. There. Okay. So that is, thank you guys. Oh, Alan, thank you. You guys, Alan Menti, thank you. Okay. All right. We have questions today. Let's, thank you, Citrina. Thank you, everybody. All right. So at 8 minutes in, Jen Glenn had a great question, and I'm just internally just dying with laughter. Oh dear. So Kimberly Guilfoyle met with the January 6th Select Committee yesterday. The question was, did she spill any beans? I want to know, did she yell her answers the whole time? No, I didn't see anything. That's what I want to know. Oh, Lord. All right. So Kimberly Gargoyle, you went and talked to the Select Committee yesterday. Oh, my gosh. And we know she was there because Sniffy Jr. he filmed her with him backstage at the rally, dancing to Gloria. Anna, yes, the best is yet to come. Oh boy. Holly and France, when will the deck be ready? When the deck is ready, thank you. Please make sure it's available internationally. Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Ah. Chaos. Ah. Gelfling. 2 Gelfling. Yeah, okay. Nope, I didn't lose any. There we go. All right. Carrie Atkins. My best testimony is yet to come. It's my money and I want it now. That, for those of you outside the country, there were a series of really stupid commercials on TV. J.G. Wentworth or something. Anyway, if you were owed a fixed settlement, they'd give you, but you need the money now, that you could get most of it or part of it. And anyway, all right, Gargoyle. So how'd it go? All right, all up in her feelings, all up in her. How dare these little people question us? Oy, oy. Alan says, you can hear her yelling from Sydney. Oh boy, okay. Three of swords. Yeah, you almost destroyed democracy, or you took part in almost destroying democracy, but we're trying to find humor where we can. We're trying. Yes, Sarah, exactly. All right. 10 of Cups. Well, that's family. No, dynasty. Definitely family. Dynasty. Sitting pretty. Oh, did you really drink the Trump Kool-Aid? Really? I just assumed you were sipping it quietly on the side and pouring it into the plants when nobody was looking because you're so full of yourself. But no, it looks like she's actually going full Trump. Sitting pretty. A lot of things were done. Legally hemmed in, though. She couldn't be her fully obnoxious self. Legally, she was hemmed in into having to answer truthfully or have to admit, like, pleading the fifth or I don't know what, but she was hemmed in. Huh? Exactly. Well, yep. Pamela, 12 noon Central Time. Yes, that's when I try to start. I came on today at 12:06, but I do try to start at 12 Central Time in the U.S. Chicago time. I'm in Chicago. Hello from Chicago. So, okay. So, were you useful to the committee? Like, were they pleased? How was the committee feeling about? One of the reasons she had to leave her job at Fox News, I believe, is she was walking around showing explicit things to coworkers. It was sexual harassment. That's what I heard. That's what I remember. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm never 100% accurate. The readings were my knowledge, but I try. Do what I can. Oh boy. Knight of Pentacles. Wow, she actually thinks Junior has money and is going to have money. She thinks Junior's going to have money. Oh, you poor deluded soul. That's you if you think Junior's going to have money. Wow. Al Menzi says she was the predator. Al Menzi says they settled out of court. Oh, CC Ryder, was it Junior's junk? Oh, ew, no. Ugh. And let me tell you, if I ran an office and somebody was doing that, I'd bounce them so fast. Oh, speaking of bouncing, I've got to find the video of the ostrich. It is the cutest thing. We need some cuteness today. I've got to find it. But anyway, all right. So you really think, wow, she's really deluded about him. Hi, baby 56 says, I'll agree she was sitting, but sitting pretty? Well, And Lisa Graham says she has a T-Rex smile. It isn't necessarily what she looks like. It's her attitude. It's how she presents herself, how over the top she is, how aggressive she is, how mean she seems. Yeah, this is her. She's great. You're becoming a queen in Trump world. Yeah, because women are just traditionally, other than the princess, women are so traditionally powerful in Trump world. Hello, Flora from Perth, Australia. Thank you for the nails. I'll be giving you credit specific as I wear each set. Thank you. All right. Oh, she's going to be out in the cold with Junior. But anyway, so she really, I'm sitting here. It's kind of sad to watch somebody this delusional. The committee's gathering evidence. She witnessed various conversations. She's tired of being asked about them. How dare the little people ask me questions, but she's going to be out in the cold. It's going to take a while. But and I thought, I had bad taste in men. I wouldn't go for a Trump. Wow. Having a quick look. Have a great day, Disrat. Oh no. Brian says at the local Cracker Barrel, they had an entire area set up to sell Trump memorabilia. And yes, Juliet. Juliet? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. But Judith is saying she'll leave him once the money's gone. Yeah. Yep. iBaby56 says, no, I have bad taste in men. Well, we did the best we could. All right, 1730. CC Ryder would like us to check in on Roger Stone. So, oh boy, we're just skimming the pond of muck today. We are a stone skimming the pond of muck. Electrostorm, did you pick your winner yet? Yes, on Saturday. Yes, we did that on Saturday. And I sent an email. I haven't checked my email this morning yet. I haven't had a chance to, but I sent an email. I was able to send an email finally yesterday to the winner. And trying to get that person's, because it didn't give me a name, just an email address. So trying to get that person's physical address. But we'll do it again soon. Okay. All right. Speaking of bad taste in men, Roger Stone. At 1830. We'll do a check-in on Roger Stone. Is justice closing in? He was on tape ranting to Trump about piece of blank DeSantis, and Trump nodded. All right, Roger Stone. CC Ryder says, boots on, folks, wading into the muck. Yes, indeed. Roger Stone. So, anything just to see closing in on you? Oh, thank you, Flora. Roger Stone. Roger Stone will be played today by Oswald Cobblepot. Oh, there's a big old justice card there for the reading. Is that just our hoping, or is there something here? All right, eight of cups. So there's some kind of gathering evidence here. Two of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Nine of Swords. Oh, he's feeling, maybe it's because it's so close to Easter. So soon after Easter, or as I call it, Thanksgiving in pastels. But it feels like he's had to move to the kids' table. He's not playing with the big boys anymore. And they're gathering evidence, and he doesn't have a lot. His currency isn't doing well. His political currency, his currency of being the dirty trickster, getting things done. He's not playing with the big boys anymore, and he does have legal worry here. And apparently, I guess he doesn't like DeSantis. So Stone, and I do want to know, check in on Stone and Trump with their DeSantis, how they're feeling about DeSantis. There was a question in the past few weeks about, will Trump and DeSantis be on the same ticket for president, vice president? And the answer was a big no. Can you say two gargantuan narcissistic egos? Now, if they actually could work together, they probably could be pretty dangerous. But thank God for stupid criminals and ego clashes amongst narcissists. So they don't work well with others, and they can't get stuff done. So, Ace of Wands. Oh, who's going to grab the mantle? It feels like everyone's struggling, climbing over each other, try to grab the far right power. And watching Trump trying to struggle and climb over other people, it's quite the mental image. And all that somebody would have to do is just like grab him by the tie and just like pull him back and go forward. And he is, anyway, I won't go into all that, but him in his suit, climbing over people, trying. Ace of Swords. Chariot. Strength. Seven. Oh, they would stab each other in the back in a heartbeat. Oh, who's got the power? Oh, this is a den of vipers. This is, oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, Aiden just got out of class. Pop on for a few minutes. Have to study for a big psychology exam. Good luck, Aiden. Good luck. All right. So they want to just go far right. Just military, this whole aggressive authoritarianism. Who's got control? This feels misogynistic. This feels like, oh, who's going to be the big dog, and who's going to be a wussy woman, wussy girl, or a oh my gosh, wow, they can't stand each other. There is a lot more fighting. There's a lot more infighting on that side than I never even think about. And DeSantis, he's a piece of work. We know that, but whew. Excuse me. They're all out of power. King of Wands, High Priestess, Tower. And the far right just isn't going to have the same successes because Trump still has too much power, and he opened up a really ugly trapdoor into a dungeon. Can you hear him Probably not, but it's not quite snoring, but it's awfully cute. Boo Boo's under the blanket. Anyway. Mel Broussard says out of power, out of luck. Yeah. And Al Menzi saying good. Keep them distracted from doing harm. All for the infighting. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mel Broussard, Trump made it okay for racist thugs and thieves to show themselves. Yeah. Okay. All right. At 26 minutes in, Electra Storm had a question. Let's see here. 26. Trump has been requesting that Biden stop releasing records from his time in office. How will that go for him? Oh boy. Polly Wanda says Trump is living proof that white supremacists are inferior. Mm-hmm. Teacher, love Boo Boo. Oh. And there's a little cat emoji. All right. Trump's been requesting Biden stop releasing records from his time in office. What, did he just send a letter and just say, oh, please don't? I'm picking up on energy that Biden feels toward Trump, and I don't think you need me to tell you what it is, because it is Arctic cold. I believe the quote from the presidential debate was, "Shut up, man." There you go. Dan O'Brien, exactly. High Priestess, secrets. Four of Pentacles, death. Oh, Trump has secrets, but he doesn't have the power to keep them quiet. And they're going, here, Death, do me a favor, drop all these records off at the January 6th committee on your way. Thanks. That's a big nah. No. All right. Okay. At 28 minutes in, we're going to go overseas. Ukraine-Russia questions. 28. Let's get 30. I have to say, though, we're finishing today with Ron DeSantis banning stuff. It's pretty amusing, the way the question was worded and what have you. So that's going to be last today. But first, okay. Now this is curious, but not really if you understand how awful authoritarians are. Russian ambassador to the U.S. says he hasn't spoken directly to Putin since he was assigned to the post over 5 years ago. Was this part of Putin's plan, keeping his ambassador in the dark so he couldn't be made to talk? I mean, there's got to be your ambassador to the U.S. you haven't spoken directly to in over 5 years. It's your ambassador. What? Why? What? This is my puzzled face. What? Chat Wadsworth says maybe he meant face to face. He hasn't spoken directly to Putin since he was assigned to the post over 5 years ago. Do they have like a Secretary of State he has to go through? Maybe I'm missing something about how Russian politics are set up, but that sounds crazy to me. Chen Glenn asks, hasn't Putin been in his bunker for 5 years? Strength. Well, you do what you're told, or bad things will happen to you. Goodfella is a troll, but I'm in StreamYard. If somebody could block that person, I would really appreciate it. And if you can't, just let me know, and I'll go over and take care of it. Almenzi says, well, if you're on the party line, do you need to talk? You have a point. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Marie Sutton says he's lying. Could be. All right, Knight of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, Temperance. I have too many cards. Huh, all right. Well, if I have too many cards, I have too many cards. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. Okay. Electra Storm says, I find it hard to believe Putin hasn't talked to him. Please. Okay. Nikki is saying, Nikki Rigel saying that makes no sense. What this feels like is this guy's kind of afraid of him, afraid of Putin, or afraid of. I mean, maybe they have talked. Maybe he was lying. I wouldn't put it past him. It just, I'm getting fear. I'm getting you know, if you want the perks of power, the only way to get them is to definitely toe the party line and do exactly what you're told. William is saying he's scared. That's what it feels like. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm feeling fear off this guy, but not fear of us, fear of making Putin angry. And certainly now, the way Putin's going forward, fruits of labor. Oh, and right now with the U.S. Sending so much aid to Ukraine, this guy's really worried. It's like, why aren't you, the ambassador over there, why aren't you doing something? Oh, thank you, Marie. No, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, Liz is saying, I bet he's happy he lives here. Yeah. Marie Henson saying, you go talk to him. That's your last walk on the plank. Could be. Thank you, Kay. Linda Speece says, who wouldn't be afraid of that sociopath? That's true. Temperance. Two of wands, 6 of wands. He's afraid. He's trying to use his contacts to influence U.S. response with Ukraine, but he's not having much luck, and he's keeping his head down and towing the party line. But I'm getting fear. If he hasn't talked to Putin, it's maybe he hasn't tried. And I think right now he's really trying not to. The fear is radiating off this guy in waves. That's what I'm getting. Yikes. Hello, Tara. Oh my gosh. Wait, this suddenly jumped. Jump. Snowwolf is saying, did everyone hear Malcolm Nance join the International Brigade in Ukraine? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, Sandy Miller, he wants to stay hidden under the radar. Yeah, the ambassador. Marie Sutton says, why would he even announce that statement unless he feels he needs to he feels he needs to protect himself? Could be. And okay. Liz Irwin says, can we do a group prayer on his behalf? Well, I think a prayer just would be good in general. Okay, just remembering that we are all, our souls are all pieces of the divine. We are all connected always. We are from the same source. We are in this together. And Divine Spirit, pour your energy, pour your highest vibrational energy into the world. Raise the vibration all over the world higher and higher for peace, for love, for understanding, for connection. Fill the world with divine energy for compassion, for love, for kindness. Pour your energy into Ukraine and everyone involved, raising the vibration higher and higher for kindness, for luck, for Ukraine, for just positive energies just pouring into Ukraine to raise the vibration higher and higher, so that those with the high vibration, those who are not using the low vibration, but those using the highest vibrations of love for their family, love for their country, caring, kindness, they will succeed. They will be victorious very quickly. And all those who've gone to fight, raise their vibration higher and higher. Keep them safe. Raise the vibration of the entire world higher and higher for peace, for health, for kindness, for compassion, for connectivity, for the good of all. Bless. Okay. Oh, be kind. Thank you. Here she comes to save the day. Thank you. Black and orange. All right. Thank you. All right. So, 38. Where am I? I'm trying to. $38.30. Steve's question. Okay, $38.30. All right, so Steve's question is, after the Russian ship was sunk, the Moskva, which has decided to become an unsuccessful submarine. The rest of the fleet pulled back. Oh, but Ukraine didn't. Oh no, Ukraine didn't shoot a missile at us or anything. No. It was just a silly mistake on our part. But we're just pulling the entire fleet back away from the coast, just because it's more fun. It's better. You're going to see more of the water, Right. It's bad enough they lie all the time, but could at least make an effort to lie convincingly. Just a thought. So Steve's question was, after the Russian ship was sunk, the rest of the fleet pulled back. Will any additional ships be sunk? Almenzi, to build a new reef. That's it. In the Black Sea. Oh boy. Yes, Alan, spontaneous combustion. In the flagship. The flagship of your Navy. Tiffany Lilly. Yes, it was a donation. Exactly. So, are there going to be any other major unsuccessful submarines created from previous above the water ships. Poor Ukraine. They're suffering. Okay. All right. 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. This feels like missiles flying overhead, and Ukrainians being happy about it. So it must be from their side. Here, have some water on your ship. No, thank you. No, really, have some more water on your ship. No, thank you. No, really, have some more water on your ship. Yes, but I don't know that it's going to be. It's not going to have the effect of sinking the actual flagship of the Russian Navy. This is a lot of work, but it feels like this is more on land that Russia's doing. These are Ukrainian missiles flying overhead. I think both sides are going to be pounded, and Russian ships are definitely going to be taking on some water here, but they also have more ships, and it's it's going to be hard to top this, but it's ugly. The fighting is ugly. It's going to be ugly. Linda Kingsley saying the oligarchs stole so much that their armed forces in Russia are incompetent. Yeah, but they can still do a lot of heinous stuff. But you have a point. It feels like things getting bogged down for a while. Yes, Frida Smet, they were sowing underwater sunflowers. That's what they were doing. All right, 43 minutes in. Let's say 43:15. 43:15. Will the next leader of Russia continue to be an ally of the GOP? CC Ryder, that is a good question. Will the next leader of Russia continue to be an ally of the GOP? What I've picked up on the next leader of Russia is that it would be kind of Putin light, but he or she, I assume a he, but I don't know, he wouldn't be in for that long, relatively speaking, and then things get more. They open up more. This idea that, well, Russians need a strong leader, an authoritarian leader. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's just it's basically all they have a history of, but it doesn't mean they can't have democracy. They're perfectly capable. Hello, Sean. Next leader of Russia. Will you continue to be an ally of the GOP? Ooh. It feels like that's not as much of an option anymore. Oh goodness, okay. I don't know if any of you know, but if you went and saw the Batman, the new movie in theaters, or you saw it last night when it came out, or yesterday when it came out on HBO Max, but I have seen it, and it's a good movie. I love the sets, but that the whole heavy the gothic sets, oh, great. Anyway, that's just me. But there's a line toward the end, a politician is saying, this is not a spoiler, remotely a spoiler, nothing to, trust me, I'm not, this is just something a politician says near the end of the movie that really jumped out at me. And it was saying, this politician was saying, we need to rebuild trust in our leaders and our institutions. We need to get rid of corruption and rebuild trust with our leaders and our institutions. And I was just sitting there, it was like, oh, that hits you right between the eyes. Because that's what we're dealing with. And it feels like with this, a leader in Russia reaching out toward the GOP, that it doesn't feel like you can hide that like you would have been able to in the past. It's just not an option like it was. There are better laws in place, better laws enforced, or laws better enforced also about transparency. And it just generally not as accepted in general, just generally, in general, I repeated myself. Page of Wands, far-right messenger, trying to undermine democracy, but also get compromise on people and people in with money. But this is silence. Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords. For a while there, it gets really, really tough. It doesn't mean that, this is telling me, it doesn't mean that our far right is just going to suddenly not have any power. They're still going to, I mean, this kind of racism, misogyny, garbage, bigotry, it doesn't come out this much out of the woodwork and then just disappear just overnight, just poof, gone. Societally, all over, it has to become completely unacceptable. And that's coming, but it's not, great uncle whomever at Thanksgiving dinner is still going to have his beliefs. Ace of Swords at the end. Let me get some clarification on this. But this is a roadblock. This is a serious, there's not really an option right there. It also feels like any kind of cyber law enforcement of any kind, military, federal, state even, being much more on top of communications somehow. The next leader of Russia, working with the GOP, has to make some kind of peace with the Democrats. 7 of Wands, Judgment, Death card. Because the people on the far right, the people who've been pro-Russian, on the defensive, facing judgment, the connection, not good. I'll take it. Maybe we might actually get our politics back on U.S. soil. That would be nice. Nice change. M. Kelpie says, I have found most racist people really feel that their whiteness is all they have going for them. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. Work on your self-esteem. Maybe then you won't. Maybe then you'll have more. You'll understand there's much more to life than being racist and judging whole massive groups of people just because of how much melanin they have on in their skin. Melatonin. Oh boy. All right. At 50:30, Jen Glenn had a question. So at 50:30, the Department of State is considering naming Russia a state sponsor of terrorism. Will it happen? Will it have much impact? Okay. Russia officially designated a state sponsor of terrorism. Their sponsor. They've got their own military doing it. Hold, please. Oh, Pamela, I love that. Overturn Citizens United, pass the John Lewis Act, pass BBB, stop the filibuster, pass the ERA amendment. Just getting these done is a good start. Wouldn't it be lovely? Al Menzies says they are pathetic if they believe in their white privilege. Or if they are pathetic, they believe in their white privilege. That's pretty pathetic. Vile. I'm not special. See this? See the skin? Father, carrot top, redhead. And you know what this makes me? Human. And nothing more. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry, let me get back to this. Focus. 52. Department of State, Russia. All right. U.S. State Department designating Russia's state sponsor of terrorism. Will they do it? Oh, Blinken. Hey, Blinken. And would it have any effect if they did? In the case, exactly. Ace of Wands. The atrocities the Russians are guilty of right now is just... All right, so will the U.S. State Department designate Russia as... Oh my gosh, my face just got really hot. Like, it feels like fire against my face. That's weird. Feels like there's fire on my face. This is weird. Seven of Pentacles. You do left to right. Seven of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Queen of... Well, this would be far right. Groups of... There's plenty of evidence. State sponsor of terrorism. This is traveling with weapons. And this is groups on the far right. Someone with prestige, someone with money, someone with resources. There's the strongest card here is this one. They have proof. CC Ryder says, considering, how much more flippin' evidence do we need? I agree. Yep. Pamela Bryant says, your cheeks are now flushed. Linda Kingsley says, if you're reading on Ukraine, it could be fertilizer bombs. Oh. Ugh. Thank you, though. Snow Wolf, you may have just been informed of Russia using a napalm equivalent. Fire. Feels like my face and my forearms here. It's like fire. Plenty of evidence. All right. Will it do any good to say, ding? 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. it will hem some things in. We'll be like, yeah, thank you. Sorry, just having a quick look at the Polywanda says a pinched cheek is a happy cheek. I love how your brain works, Polywanda. All right. People in the world going, yeah, it would cut Russia off and hem them in. It would actually make a difference. I don't know how, but it would make a difference. So, man, I don't usually get hot. It's just my face. It's just my face, and up here, and it itches, like from burns. Okay, that's extremely unpleasant. Divine Spirit, bless anyone suffering. Bless anyone suffering. Raise their vibration higher and higher for health, for safety, for compassion of everyone around them, for goodness, for the benefit of all. Bless. That was awful. And now I'm thirsty. Okay, that was awful. 57. All right, let's move to domestic. Okay, 57. The Blue Moon Rising and Electrostorm all had a question on the same kind of thing. Do you want to guess? Oh, I'm okay, thank you. But I'm going to pull my hair back because yeah, that energy's gnarly. Oh, great. Now I feel like crying. This is not good. There are definitely some anti-benefits, some detriments to being a sensitive little thing. Linda Kingsley says at least one more month of this and Putin's astrology is supposed to go downhill. Oh gosh, I hope so. Nikki's saying, get some water, hon. You sound a little raspy. Okay. I will. Okay. Put my head there for a second. All right. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Just a second. Thank you. And if it gets really bad, I'll pull out my little fan and let my hair out. I'll do the supermodel hair thing. So, all right, thank you. I got a glass of water. Thank you. Yeah, Adrian spray. Oh, that reminds me. We'll get yield sage nearby. Okay, so plenty of other questions to go through. So at 1 hour in. So Blue Moon Rising and Electrostorm had the same kind of question. Save. Thank you, Sandy. All right. How will the lifting of the mask mandate on public transit affect our safety from COVID? Good question. Will COVID numbers start to spike as a result? Will this judge regret making this decision? Okay. All right, lifting mask mandates. Haven't we already done this? I mean, like, I understand, maybe you want to lift mask mandates, but haven't we already established a cause and effect here? A basic cause and effect? Could have sworn. Vince Foster says that was a terrible decision, and yes, they will spike. Huge. Judith says, yes, people can still choose to wear masks. That's true. I do. Pamela Bryant says the judge was a Trump judge. Ugh, he won't regret anything. And he wasn't endorsed by the American Bar Association either. Oh, lovely. Community. Protect yourself, protect others. It's not that complicated. Almenzi says, just what I want, being in a tin can with all those germs. Yep. Oh my gosh, Gary Atkins says the judge is a 33-year-old law clerk assistant. She has no business on the court. Really? Sitting pretty. 6. Oh, this is quite the victory. Far-right victory. Hanged man. I wonder if it's going to be that could be a suspension of the rules. But this is bad. This person sitting pretty, whether she deserves it or not. Far-right victory. Suspending the rules, I suppose, because this is the far-right power core. This is my used to be my Mar-a-Lago card. And this is also vacation or retirement. So going on planes, going on cruises, going on that kind of stuff. But it's also just this far right and the absolute corruption and destruction. Oh boy. Okay, Michelle Grande is saying if you live in Georgia or any red states, please check your voter registration because they're purging people off of it. A bunch of people found they were taken off, and the deadline is the 20th. Okay, that's so if it's 20th tomorrow, it's tomorrow because today is April 19th. Man. Oh, thank you, Blue Moon. Thank you, Blue Moon Rising. Judith saying get vaccinated and get booster shots. Amen, sister. Okay. 103.30. So at 103.30, Politico has released a list of things they think that could go wrong during the midterms. And I've got 3 questions on this. We're going to go through the 3 things that Politico thinks could go wrong during the midterms. Let's look at the probability of these. Okay. Oh, Sandy Miller says today's my granddaughter's birthday. Well, happy birthday. Oh. All right, make this 104.30. So we're going to look at these 3 things. The first one is the GOP shooting themselves in the foot by running weak candidates in the primary, for example, like Herschel Walker in Georgia? So is the GOP shooting itself in the foot by choosing really weak candidates? Nikki, did your body get hot? No, not really. GOP, are they shooting themselves in the foot by choosing just weak candidates? King of Wands. Well, everyone Trump endorses. They don't all lose, but a lot of them do. All right, Nine of Swords. It's electoral worry. Eight of Wands. That's far right. A lot of far right actions. Refusal to work with the other side is this cornerstone. Eight is Republican policies, magician, people who are willing to stand up for this kind of extremism and not compromise in any way, shape, or form. I don't know that that's necessarily going to be a winning strategy, but let's see. Is the GOP? Are the Republicans? Is the Republican Party shooting themselves in the foot by running? Are their candidates just going to be weak candidates, and that will make a difference in whether or not they will retake congressional power? Knight of Wands. Must be aggressively right-wing. Ten of Swords. Hermit. Four of Pentacles. King of Swords. Devil. They are out of power now. They're not doing anything to enlarge their tent. They're just not. They're relying on a diehard group of voters, and it's a large group of voters, unfortunately, but it's not everything it needs to be. I mean, they've gerrymandered what they can so that, there's so many places where Democrats literally have to win, practically 2 votes for every 1 vote Republicans get for Democrats to take power. But they're relying on a tiny base and gerrymandering, and they're also coming out with these extreme laws. And that's not making their tent bigger. So, all right, I might have to start doing what some of the other readers are doing, which is you have to be a subscriber and before you can post. I don't know what else to do. So I'm not necessarily getting the weak candidates being the problem. It's the extremism. It's just not drawing in a big enough group of people. Menzi says the GQP's only platform is Trump, the steal, and gerrymandering. World. Page of Swords, 7 of Cups, Knight of Cups. Bullies. Inflation is brutal, and I think that might be the next question. Oh no, it's the third question, but it's not helping. But Democrats are trying to help people and not just go to these extremes. So that's what I'm getting. It isn't just the weak strength or weakness of their candidates isn't what's going to make the difference. It's the fact that they're not expanding the tent. So, okay. Lola Bell is saying November 8th, 2022, the sun will be in Scorpio, conjunct Mercury, opposite Taurus. Yep. And there's going to be an eclipse. Lola Bell, do you have an astrology channel? Just curious. Let me know, please. All right. At 1:10, let's look at this next question. Oh, it's the 10th question. Takes so little to make me happy. I'm serious. Look at that. Will the legal squabbling over congressional lines be done before midterms? So all the squabbling back and forth about gerrymandering districts, hither and yon, here and there. Okay, Lilibel. Thank you. So, will at least the gerrymandering be taken care of? Will we actually have everything set before the midterms? Things keep shifting. Will the ground keep shifting? That is a burden. It feels like rolls of paper, big rolls of paper that you get, maps and things, that when you walk into like town hall meetings and town hall committee meetings or area meetings, that's what that feels like. Okay. Hermit, Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Death. They're trying. They've been trying to quietly redistrict communication. Republicans feel like they have to, or they're going to lose like nobody's business. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't care about their feelings. Nothing more than GQP feelings. I don't care. I want to know, will the lines be settled by then? Okay. Ace of Wands. Magician. Seven of Wands. Eight of Cups. There are gonna be cutoff dates, but they'll still keep trying to. The GQP will still keep trying, and they won't work in some places. But that's all I'm getting for that. Nothing's really specific. Mostly, but that doesn't feel. Yeah, it's not things. It doesn't feel. Well, there's already gerrymandering in place. This is going to be a factor, but it's not feeling like the corner of everything, the keystone of everything, but it's still important. Anyway, 113. Now this I think this is going to be a kicker, but let's see. 113.30. 113.30. So some economists believe that inflation has peaked. Will it start to go down by the midterms? That could be helpful for us. Thank you, Nikki. All right, so has inflation peaked, and will it start going down by the midterms? Yes, please. People on fixed incomes suffering. It's not good. Inflation. Sorry, just trying to find the energy. Let's make it 114.30. Inflation has peaked. Inflation start coming down. Kind of feels like people just being tired. I don't know why. I just got to say, it's like a sense of we've been through so much just over the past 5 years, Temperance. That would be good, but that's just a card for the reading. So let's see. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, could I have any more Pentacle cards? What? There's worry here. It's unsteady, but this is fruits of labor. Someone who's got money. This is a dynasty. This is dynasty's worrying. Changes in taxes, perhaps. I don't. This is odd. Let me try again. What is inflation going? Is inflation going to go up, go down, or is inflation in the U.S. going to go up, go down, or stay roughly the same? Inflation rate. Has it peaked? Is it going to go up, go down? Inflation in the U.S. prices have been going up. Will they continue? Again, fruits of labor. Excuse me. All right, 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, World, 3 of Swords. Well, it isn't just full inflation here. There's also some price gouging. It's definitely hurting people. It's causing some people to walk away from politics. Even though Democrats have some good policies and infrastructure. World. It feels like people just kind of not getting used to it, but just being like, okay, well, this isn't the year that you do extravagant things. How is this going to affect the midterms? That is our concern as well, because I don't like people suffering. You don't either, but I just throwing that in the universe. Let's lessen the whole people suffering thing. That would be awesome. Thanks. Thank you. Joan Moore says, do people actually believe inflation would be better if a Republican was in office? They do, but Kathy Anderson, snapshot ready. Okay. King of Cups. That's Biden. So the midterms will be something of a referendum on Biden. Queen of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. 8 of Cups. 3 of Swords. Getting the same kind of cards. Magician. I think there are some Republicans who are going to be pushing the fact that if inflation has gone up as much as it has. I do have some heartache here. So I wish I was getting cards like, yes, inflation is going to disappear or just go down dramatically. But right now, the energy isn't great. But part of this, it isn't inflation as of itself. There's price gouging going on, which is affecting and making it look a lot more like it's a political thing that getting another party in power would fix, which it wouldn't. Because if there's one thing Republicans are not going to do, it's going to go after corporations. That's just not going to happen. If anything, they will just loosen the reins and companies can go price gouge, go to town, price gouging. Only in France's inflation is worse in many other countries. It's not Biden's fault. Yeah, but he'll get blamed. I'm not saying it's right. Oh, thank you, Red Mambu. Chariot. They're right. They're gonna run on it, but again, they haven't exactly been expanding their tent, and that's a problem. So, all right, we'll keep checking back, but that's what I'm getting right now. All right, 121 in a bit. Electra Storm had another question. 121. Let's say 15. Will the U.S. Constitution still be here in the future? Red states seem to shrug their shoulders and ignore it. Will it still be relevant in our lives? Future of the U.S. Constitution, and not the ship. The actual document sitting in Philadelphia. And the Constitution's in Philadelphia, isn't it? I know the Declaration of Independence is, but is the Constitution there too? The original paper? Or is that in D.C.? I can't remember. But it's not just that. It's obviously there have been amendments and all the law and whatnot. But it's basically the Republicans are going to successfully just Constitution, Smanstitution. Rip. The Constitution in future. Pamela Bryant says the Constitution is in the National Archives in D.C. Thank you. Menzie says, I think it's the D.C. Smithsonian. National Archives in D.C. says Holly in France. Thank you. Knight of Swords. It's okay. That's the card for the reading. Let me see the actual Five of Swords, Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups. Yes, they're going to do their darndest on the right to beat it up, to rip it down, but it's powerful, and there are still laws in place protecting many of the parts of it in law. And this is a rise of democratic power, which is always going to be better for the Constitution rather than worse, at least in the current state of politics. But in the short term, they're going to try to beat the heck out of it in any way, shape, or form that they possibly can. But it will stand. It's a strong legal document. So I've got good stuff here. All right. All right. At 1:24:30, Jen Glenn had a question. 4:30. So sorry. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Jen Glenn was asking, will we see the arrogant toddlers, the oaf creepers, and other groups like them dissolve over the next 5 years? Yes, please. The well-regulated militia needs to be well-regulated. Oh, Gary, I'm sorry. I've got my questions for today. but I'm here 365 days of the year. So if you put your questions in the chat before I go on between 11 and 12 Chicago time, Central Time in the US, I'd be happy to read on it. Another card went flying. Oh, Butterfingers here. Goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, lucky girl. Hello. Okay. Thank you for being here. All right. I'll make it 126. That's probably better. Take pity. Take pity on the people using the timestamps. All right. Will we see the misogynistic, racist, bigoted, violent, potentially all of the above groups like the arrogant toddlers, the oaf creepers, and all of those knuckle-dragging lowlifes, will they dissolve away in the next 5 years? Yes, please, but let's see. Will they disappear over the next 5 years? Well, that's far right. Feels like, it could be just the core of power for the far right. I'm also getting older voters. Like I'm getting mental images of the villages in Florida, which isn't entirely Republican, but boy, is it strongly Republican. At least that's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Peggy Decker says, you always say thanks for being here. In the same mold. Thank you for being here. Everything. Oh, thank you. Okay, Page of Wands. 9 of Wands. These groups can go away anytime now. Fool. We're like idiot. Chariot. Knight of Pentacles. I think there might be some, I think that Merrick Garland might actually be making some good on his vow to get rid of a lot of these scumbags or do something about these scumbags, but it's not going to go entirely. They've done what they've done, but Trump made them bold. But I think federally they're going to get involved, but there's still going to be a space. Unfortunately, all this far right garbage isn't just going to vanish. Alas. Things will get better over time, but it's going to take time. You can't have this kind of muck rise to the surface and then disappear. I'm sorry to say. Okay, 128.40. It's my 14th, 15th question. Okay, let's say 129. Okay. 129. Aldine Banks had a question. Okay, so sneak in a little sip of water. Okay. What's up with Ron? I love this. Aldine Banks asked, what is up with Ron GaySantis? Ron GaySantis. Banning math textbooks of all things? Is musical theory going to be next? Because heaven forbid, when he finally twigs on him that, is there a link between musical theater and gayness? So let's read on Ron GaySantis. Teresa Ford says, I'm going to have to call him that from now on. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking this is a thing now. Thank you, Aldine. Alan says, I really feel for You all in the USA, you had 4 years of muck and the stench of it lingers. My heart goes out to you. Thank you. Oh. Al Menzies asks, really? Where is CRT in math? Yeah, I'm with you. What? So we'll just put 30. So GaySantis. Ron GaySantis. Banning math. This crusade of stupidity. Is there gonna be any end to this reign of stupidity of trying to force stupid stuff, lack of education, lack of understanding. Good gracious. Ron GaySantis. Don't say DeSantis. Ron GaySantis. 7 of Pentacles. Oh, yes. Ow. This is fruits of labor. This is cracking down. This is authoritarian garbage. Ace of Wands. Oh, yeah. Bludgeon. Don't listen to any experts on children's mental health or no. Mm-mm. 3 of Swords. Conform. Make them conform. Hermit. Magician. Well, it's going to go on for a while. There will be groups that get together or committees who are supposed to go over stuff in the state, but there's still stuff being implemented, still more heinous stupidity being put out there. Florida, really? Look, this is Chicago, all right? Not exactly a city with a history free of corruption, to say the least. Al Capone, here. The mob, here. Chicago has notorious corruption in politics. And I would love to say none of that exists anymore, but really? Ron GaySantis, really? And didn't he only win by 10,000 votes or something? And he's taking that as a mandate to just go off the right deep end. Yes, as much right-wing garbage as he can possibly throw. Like a monkey. 4 Pentacles, Temperance, 5 of Swords. There's going to be temperance at some point because there just aren't if it may be going on in Florida, but there just aren't enough voters who believe in this far-right garbage to make all these far-right garbage policies sustainable. That's what I'm getting. But they're going to try as long as they can. He's so awful. He's so awful. Okay. Electrostorm says GaySantis cheated. He didn't win. Okay. Deborah Murphy's saying, please get out. Have fun tonight. Is everybody going to Wang Chung tonight? Thank you. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. I answered 15 questions. I try to answer at least 12 at 12 every day, Chicago time. And it is 1:42 p.m. here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I will be over on the Book Art Media channel. Book Art Media is my little publishing company. And Black and Orange is a part of that. But I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel between 4 and 6 p.m. Chicago time, Central time, to do creative sprints. You're always welcome. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. All right? So take care. Don't forget, we are all parts of the divine. We all, pieces of us, every one of us, we are pieces of the divine. Small pieces, but pieces nonetheless. And we are in this together. And we are always connected, so you're never alone. And there are good days ahead, even when it seems like there aren't. There are. All right? Hang in there. And I will see you right back here tomorrow. Bye.